Hello, I'm Sid and welcome to Road and Load. Today in this video, we're going to be demonstrating how to load onto a flatbed truck. To do that, I'm here with Andy. So Andy, explain to us what actually goes on here.
Right, so what we're going on today is we'll be loading up some products to go into central London for a building site. So we use a flatbed truck just for ease of accessibility, so it can be loaded and unloaded with ease, because the products that are on the back don't have to be protected from weather. So it can literally just be put straight onto the back, everything's visible to see, and as I said, ease for unload.
Okay, and what are the options of loading it up? You've got a forklift?
Of course we have a forklift that we can be loaded by, but this vehicle has a high-ab that you can see just behind the cab there, so that allows me to unload and load myself at any time. So.
Right then Andy, what have you got right there? What's that contraption?
So this is the remote for the high-ab, so everything is done wirelessly, so you haven't got to go anywhere near it, not like the olden days used to have controls that you have to stand up and use it like that, but no, it's all modern technology, so everything's completely wireless, so you've got makes it a lot safer and easier of use, because you can see exactly what you're doing at all times.
So it would just turn into some form of Decepticon, I take it?
Yeah, so you just have to literally just turn it on, and then you have your outriggers, which will stabilise the truck. So the crane won't work without the stabilisers being out due to safety reasons, to stop the vehicle toppling over and moving around. So yeah, and then you have these both sides, and then once the stabilisers are down and the vehicle is ready, you can then unfold the crane and go from there.
Okay.
And then you have to put pads down under the feet as well.
Okay, so you can't just drop them?
Yeah, no, you can't, no. So this will allow the load to be spread underneath the legs.
Right.
So, of course, with this just directly on the floor, the whole weight of the truck will be on that small area, whereas you put it onto the plate, it displaces it, so it will then allow the weight to be spread out more.
Okay.
And then we do this on both sides. As I said, it's all done by hand, so there's nothing difficult about it at all. Literally just press a few buttons. I always told my mum it would be easy playing PlayStation in the olden days. It'd be used for something. I didn't know it'd be this, but...
Well, it's like operating an RC Tamiya truck, except this is a lot bigger.
Yeah, so just
a bit.
A little bit more dangerous. If we go around to the other side, I'll show you the screen. Yeah.
As you can see, there's quite a lot going on. Eventually we're going to see this higher go up. I think that's going to be the cool bit. So we got like a little leveler over there then?
Yeah, so on the truck, it comes with a screen, so you've got the truck laid out exactly how it is, and then you can see each leg will be pulled out, and then as the legs, if I let this one down, so this one here is leg 2, so if you let the pressure down, you'll then see that the circle for that one is clear, to show that there's no pressure on the leg, and then if you push it down, it will then say that leg has pressure on it, so it is completed.
Okay.
And then once you've got all the dots are clear, the crane can then be used. So you activate it, and then you're ready to go. You'll come around the other side and you'll be able to see it. So now, as I said, the legs are all out, so we're now able to unfold the crane.
It's taking its time. I thought it was just going to caress open.
You can get it out quick. It's a bit of a tight squeeze in between it, so you need to.
Right, yeah, casing up all
Yeah,
this
make
over,
sure. Yes, yeah.
And it turns into one of those warehouse YouTube compilation videos. Yeah, it's a lot bigger than I thought.
Yeah, so this here is probably what's considered a baby crane.
Right. Dread to think what the big one is then.
Yeah, so this is, so cranes are measured on ton meterage, and this is a 48 ton meter crane, which means like it would be able, like, it's quite hard to describe it. Depending on the ton meterage will say how big the actual crane is and how much it can lift. So this one here is a 48, so it will roughly lift about 4 ton at 10 meters.
Okay.
So
it's quite a lot. It can do quite a bit then. If it's 4 ton. And this process, how long would it usually take to do?
To load and unload can take, depending on how much you have to load, but can take anywhere between half an hour to an hour, depending on how many things you have to lift and depending how complex the lift is. Of course, with pallets, it's quite simple. You just sling the pallets, lift up, and they're on. But of course, if you have oversized cabins or other things like that, you have to climb on top of them, hook it up to it, and then lift it off.
Okay. So it's not just arrive and.
No.
Yeah, go on, boys. Just you whack it on.
Exactly. Yeah, it is a little bit more complicated. And then here we have
straps.
And then here we have our lifting slings that have all been tested, and then we've used these to lift everything on.
See, I tell you what, this is quite a big insight, really. It's a lot more to it than what it is.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not just the driving.
No, definitely not. No, there is still the element of a lot of driving in it.
But there's a physical activity in some form.
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah, a lot more so than when I first started here than I thought it would be. There's like certain
days. There's a lot
of
responsibility as well too. You've got to make sure you strap these up and.
Yeah, there's very wrong and very right ways of doing it.
So is it just these items you've got at the minute?
Yeah, just these two, and the one that's already on the truck.
Okay. And then are all of these going to one location?
These two will be going to two similar locations, right around the corner from each other, and that one will be going to a different.
Okay. So go on and explain to me what's the worst conditions you've had to do this in? Have you had a good, easy one, a bad one where it's been in awkward places?
Yes. So you have the nice sites which are like this, where it is all concrete, the sun is shining, it's all very pleasant, everyone's nice. And then you have other building sites which are pure mud, hammering down with rain, you're completely soaked through. And it's just very unpleasant, but it's more interesting than just sitting behind the wheel constantly, because you're getting out, stretching your legs, a bit of fresh air, makes it different.
Yeah, it switches it up a little bit, and I suppose you don't feel grovelled at having to do any activities, because if anything, you feel a little bit more keen.
Exactly, yes. Yeah, you're a bit more, breaks up the monotony of just driving, for sure.
See, that's cool. Just operating it by a road, pretty cool. I'm going to stand back for this bit. So I take it it's just a question of adjusting it so it's balanced.
Exactly, yeah. So you just sometimes have to just readjust your slings ever so slightly just to make sure you have a nice level lift. So of course you don't want anything doing too much slip off, or you might damage the product in any...
No. Yeah, I'll go last one. Right, so you've got them all on. Take it, it's just a question of strapping them up, putting the high ab back.
Exactly, yeah. Now it's just a case of packing up, getting all the crane packed away, and then ratchet strap them down to the truck, and then we're good to hit the road.
So have you got a specific way of how you strap them down, or?
Everyone's got their own certain ways of doing things. Everyone's got their own preferred. Something we probably all agree on is you throw them over from the driver's side over to the passenger side. So
okay.
If a strap does come loose whilst you're out on the road, you're then not standing in the line of carriage in the carriageway. You're then at least protected on the other side of the vehicle. But as I said, when we're strapping up, people like to do it certain ways. Some people think one strap is enough. Some people think two. Some people go crazy and put 4 or 5 on. I think 2's enough for a pallet. So it's just a case of getting the ratchets on to secure the load to the back of the truck. And everyone's got their own way of tying them up as well. So it just hooks onto the back of the truck. You literally just roll up the excess so it's not dangling down the road the whole time. And that is secure.
Quite self-explanatory, that one.
Yes. Of course, you don't want, the last thing you want is something coming off halfway down the road.
No, of course not. We all know how that's going to end.
Exactly, yes.
So, would it be a different case with Arctics, like supermarket lorries? They've probably got a different way of loading as well too.
Yeah, of course, if you have a standard like, articulated trailer or a trailer with covers on it, of course things will be more secured within the actual shell of the vehicle. So with a flatbed, everything has to be secured down because there's nothing to stop anything moving about. So, but with an Arctic trailer, you will still have to ratchet them down, but there's only so much movement it can do, whereas this is completely exposed to the elements. It's everything must be secured down safely. So you just want to make sure, like this, I'm making sure the box is caught, so that's secured down within that, and then the actual product itself is secured by the ratchet itself.
Even though that box looks like a normal domestic product, I take it it's quite...
Yeah, so that'll be containing fixings and screws for the actual product itself. So as you can see the metal work within there, and then this will require fixings which are then inside there. So everything for this whole product from start to finish, from fixings to
Thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Any questions, leave it in the comments down below.